morning. Top of the morning to you. Ohio gozaimasu. It is a great morning. It's Friday. We've made it through this week. I got my favorite water. Talking to my favorite people. Man. To make up for yesterday, I guess God was like, I'm going to give you something. And it's going to, just woof. That's all I can say. All right, so you ready? Because this is a doozy. I hope you're ready, right? Yeah. You sitting down, right? All right, okay. Just making sure, because I want you to take this all in. So on my walk, I usually listen to a few things, and then I come home and I sit in my thinking chair and I think about what I'm thinking about and put it all down. So here's how today goes. All right, a couple of days ago, I was listening to John Maxwell, but at the end, he had Rachel Hollis on. And she was just talking about that nobody's self-made, right? So no one is really self-made, but this is what she said. No one is really self-made, but really successful people apply themselves to be self-taught. And she went on to say later on that in this age of information, of free information, this age of free information, your ignorance is a choice. And now it's like, so if you want to know something, it's probably readily available to you to get. So today's review. All week we've been doing reviews. Review your flow of information. Okay? So just remember that. Just keep that. Keep that. Ignorance is a choice. With all this free information available to you, ignorance is a choice. But anyway, information. Information applied. Information is information. Information is power, but it's potential power. Okay? Now, information applied becomes knowledge, and you have to use that wisely. It turns into knowledge, and applied knowledge leads to what Earl Nightingale, I was listening this morning, Earl Nightingale called knowledge 3 P's and an F. I added one more, so it's 4 P's and an F. So information is potential power, but information applied to you will be your knowledge. Okay, so use that wisely. Now, applied knowledge leads to poise, and poise, the definition of poise is a state of being balanced. Good, balanced. I added this one, position, and that's going to be a place open to opportunities. That puts you in a place that's open to opportunities. Okay. Another P is peace. You have peace of mind. Knowledge brings peace. Knowledge brings a position of power. Power. That's the other P. Power. Power is influence. Influence over other things, situations, all kind of things. And I'll talk about that in a second. Poise, position, power, peace, and that last one, the F, is freedom. So, and I was big on freedom. Talked about that on Monday. Freedom is the options to choose what you want. Okay? So, knowledge and applied knowledge brings you poise, position, peace, power, and freedom. He went on to talk about Annie Besant. Now, he liked the Annie Besant. She did a lot, okay? Her history, good and bad. Her views, good and bad. So it's a mixture. But she did say something on this subject. She wrote this, okay? Knowledge is essential to conquest, and only according to our ignorance are we helpless. Okay? Knowledge is essential to conquest, and only according to our ignorance are we helpless. So remember, ignorance is a choice. Well, let me clarify that. Okay, just 1 second. After this, thoughts create character, and character can dominate conditions, and the will creates circumstances and environment. So, all going back to knowledge, though, because what you put in is what you're going to be thinking about. So, knowledge is the essential to conquest, right? And according to our ignorance, we are helpless. Now, thought creates character, and I talked about that yesterday in creativity, character, and reviewing your character too, the day before yesterday. Character can dominate conditions. Remember, that's a position of power, that's a position of position, and position of peace, poise, and freedom. And your will, that's going to carry out your intentions, creates circumstances and environment. So I was saying ignorance is a choice, but don't take that negatively, okay? In today's terms, we consider ignorance as stupidity, but it's not. It's not. It's just the lack of knowledge. Now, you can take the ball further down the field if you choose to stay ignorant. Now, you got woke culture, and we try to be alive to circumstances and situations. But once you find out about it, if you're not lacking in knowledge, then you can go get what you need. Okay? Remember, in Rachel Hollis said, in the age of this much free information, ignorance is a choice. Now, if you're failing in knowledge in a certain area, there's a wealth of treasure in information on the subject that you need. There's this thing called Google, which is very big. And I was fussing at my daughter. I was like, because you know what teenagers do. You say, well, let's do this, or get this, and I don't know how to do it. Sorry, I don't know how to do it. And that might be good for one time, okay? All right, I need you to do something. You don't know how to do it. I understand. Let me show you. But if we come to this again, and you still don't know how to do it, you can ask for more help and ask for but as an excuse of not to do something, I don't know how to do it, that's not an excuse anymore. I showed you. Or you got books on the subject that you want to know about. You got a wealth of knowledge, a whole treasure trove of just sitting there for you, whatever you want. But so that brings to this thing, Earl Nightingale saying this. If you lack in knowledge in the area, being either you're conceited, and I've talked about this before, either you're conceited or ignorant or both. Now, don't take that negatively. Now, conceited because you deny the work or the research on a subject that has been written down or packaged together or offered over presentations on the subject for you, and you deny it. And a lot of times it's like either you deny it because you know better, or you deny it or you don't because you don't believe it. But information is readily available to you, and that's potential power, and you deny it. That's conceited. Now, the other part is ignorance because you don't know, it's not a bad thing. You can get to know. You can do the work, you can do the research, or read and accept the information that's already been done for you on anything that there is pretty much right now. There's like I'll tell you, I like Japanese reggae, or let's say some obscure gospel, okay, or Christian Japanese reggae. Is out there. Anything that you can think of is out there if you go look for it, if you do the work, okay? And conceited or ignorance, two things or both, which you decide, I choose to stay in the dark in this information of light. I mean, there's so much light out there. But I want you to know that time moves forward, even if you want to have knowledge or not in any type of subject. Let me tell you a story real quick, and then we'll get off. A man kept getting passed up for a job because he didn't have the college degree, right? And he was complaining to his friend. He was like, "Man, I give anything. I could go back and go to college." And his friend said, "Well, why don't you go?" And he's like, "Man, I'm 35. It'll take me like 10 years. I got wife and kids. It'll take me 10 years to get a college degree at night." And he said, "Well, how old will you be in 10 years if you go to college?" And he's like, 45. I get a degree about 45. And he said, "Well, how old will you be if you don't go to college in 10 years? And he'd be 45. So what's stopping him? The only thing is that he doesn't want to. He chooses to stay in his situation, his current condition. So, time moves on. If you choose to gain power or not, time is going to move on. So that's very important. As you go in this weekend, get what you can get. I made my daughter, get a library card, and you have no excuse to say, "I don't know how to do it. I just can't." Yes, you can. If there's a book on it, I guarantee you, they got ebooks, they got audiobooks, they got graphic books, mangas, you name it. On any subject, there's probably a book at the library for you, so you can get it, or just Google it. But anyway, I love you very much. I hope you didn't take that negatively. Let's gain knowledge in the things that we want to do and grow. Okay? You guys have an awesome day. Come by.